Good morning, everyone. My name is Craig Hall. I am the founder of A Better Tomorrow from Houston, Texas, and I just wanted to make this video. This is my first video. I wanted to make this video just to let you all know who I am and kind of my background. Excuse me, it's pretty early and my voice was hoarse, but I just wanted to kind of establish that. So, first of all, I'll start by saying I named my nonprofit A Better Tomorrow because I always felt that growing up, in the conditions and in the society and the social environment that I was in, it was pretty harsh, and I felt that I was dealt some, I won't say unlucky cards, but I was born into an area where the struggle was real, and what a better tomorrow for me looks like is giving young brothers and young sisters an opportunity to believe that their current circumstances doesn't have to be the same as tomorrow. They don't have to follow the family generational traits that has been passed on 3, 4, 5 generations. We can break that, and I believe in breaking that is people, community outreach, community service, men, women taking time out to acknowledge, spend time, get to understand these youths, because the youth are our future. And when I say that, and then I don't mean no disrespect, but you can turn on the news almost in any city, and it's just horrible. I mean, all the deaths and just all the madness and mayhem, and as I often say to some of my young brothers that I mentor, I always tell them that 30 seconds can change your whole entire life. And with that being said, it's deeper rooted, and I will make more videos in context to that. We're seeing a lot of young men that are suffering from very much emotional unbalanced. When I say emotional unbalanced, they are raised. A lot of them are raised in homes without fathers. This platform, I would not bash any women, any men. I would just speak statistics in the real. Due to death, due to incarceration, due to whatever, parents not working it out. I'm a product of that. Me and my mom and my dad separated when I was 2. A little background history. I'm from Houston, but I was born in Oakland, California. So when my mom and dad separated, my mom took me and my siblings and moved back to Houston, and that was kind of the beginning of my upbringing. And in my upbringing, I had a pretty good stepfather, and with that being said, he worked hard, worked 10, 11 hours a day. My mom worked 10 hours a day, and not the problem, but what happened in these circumstances was, I was left to be looked out at, with my big siblings, my my two older sisters. But when you're 12 and 13, and you know you don't your father, your stepfather, some male role model is not there all the time, more than likely the streets is going to gravitate and grab them and raise them, and they're going to be enamored by, you know, the popular street dude, the popular gang dude. And that was kind of my story. You know, I jumped off the porch young, and I saw fast money, and you know, we was just getting by. And my story may be different from a lot of people. You know, I've seen videos where a lot of people was like, you know what, it was, you know, I got out there, I just wanted to make money, and I was tired of living in poverty. It was opposite for me. I wanted to make money to help my mama not struggle. At the age of 12, I vowed to myself, like, I'm never going to ask my mama for anything. And it's not that she wouldn't do for me. I was a child that was very, very empathetic. I was very much emotional, to the point I used to see my mom drain. I seen my stepdad drain. And I was like, you know what? I can't be a burden on them. Like, I'm 12 years old. I should be focusing on sixth grade science and history and Columbus, or whatever the case may be. But because I was raised in a poverty-stricken neighborhood, Fourth Ward in Houston, Texas, which is a very much historical area. But that area was poverty-stricken, and I didn't see accountants. I didn't get to have role models that were teachers. I didn't get to have role models that were in healthcare field. My role models were on the corners making money. My role models was gangbangers. This is what I saw, and you know, that's what I gravitated to. With that being said, at an early age, you know, I ventured through that passage, and yeah, you know, my intentions were good, but still my actions were not where it should have been. You know, in these poverty-stricken neighborhoods, one thing I've since, you know, talking to other mentors, was like, we were forced. You know, Tupac has a amazing verse on one of his songs, Unconditional Love. And he says, in my room crying because I didn't want to be a burden. Like, that's how I felt. Like, I didn't want to put more on my mother than what she was going through. I actually wanted to help. So, you know, I chose to go whatever route that was to make money, not to be dressed up in Jabot. And at the time, Jabot and Iceberg was hot, but it was to slip my mama $200 or $300, put money in my mama pocket. And although I know she wouldn't take it, but you know, I always wanted to be the help of the family, you know. And another little background, I'm the youngest of four. So even though I was the youngest of four, I believe that I was way ahead of my time, because it was something about me that I I could just feel people energy. A person didn't have to say anything. Like I said, my mama would come in normal, smile, ask you how your day go, how my day was. But I felt her energy that this woman is drained, like, and I'll be the one like, Mama, don't cook. I'm okay. I eat a sandwich and some chips. Like, I was always that compassionate person, and to this day, I do not like to be a burden on someone, but to get back to the essence of why I came with this concept of a better tomorrow. I do believe there's greatness in a lot of these young men and young women. And despite what we see on the news, and yes, it's real, a lot of people are losing their lives. I just don't believe that there is enough people out here that is truly taking the time out to bring out the greatness, show that young man, show that young person that they are great. And with that, that comes with time. And I'm not saying there's not any outreach. I'm saying that there needs to be more. So I can't down anyone. I can only focus on me. My job is for me to do my work, and my job is for me to save as many lives as I can. Because, as I often say, again, to my mentors, my mentees, 30 seconds can change your entire life. In today's time, we're dealing with a lot of emotional young men. And this page would not be of no bashing of mother or father. It will be accountability. I will hold myself. I will hold communities. I will hold elective officials. I'm going to hold everyone accountable. But back to what I was saying is that a child that's raised a young man that's raised in the house without a father and just a mother and aunties and sisters by nature, by biological genetics, that son, more than likely, that male, that young man is going to pick up emotional traits. And as a young man, you cannot be emotional. You cannot be emotional because your emotions will cost you your life, cost you your freedom. I don't know. To be honest with you, it has damaged so many people, and I've saw it so many times. And I was a victim of that when I was young. A person said something I didn't like, I snap. I was on go. But as I got older, I realized, like, you know what? Put my pride and ego to the side. When I started having kids, me, bumping into a young man, it's no problem. Hey, I'm sorry, young brother. This young man is full of emotions. Watch where you going, old MF, or watch where you going, N-word or whatever. Yeah, of course, I can match that energy. But when you're emotionally stable, which I teach my mentees and my young brothers and my young sisters, guess what? It doesn't hurt to say, I'm sorry, brother, no problem. Some might call you weak. Some may say whatever. But guess what? The bigger picture is my job is to make it home to my kids and my family. And my job is to allow that young man to make it home. Because guess what? It can go bad and bullets can spark. But at a young age, I realized in the streets when I was doing whatever I was doing in the gang life, something dawned on me. While we out here shooting at each other and doing all of this, when we taking each other lives, somebody loved this person that just died. Maybe, and you can call them an enemy of mine or, all this op stuff. Somebody loved your op. That op that you killed may had a child. That op that you killed may had a mother. That op that you killed may had a father, sisters, uncles, and aunties, grandmothers that loved them. And that's when it clicked to me. It's bigger than me. So these 30 seconds of decision making, it affects my family, that person's family. So that's where the maturity came in, the emotional control came into. If me saying my bad or I apologize, young brother, for bumping into you, if that's what it's gonna take for me to get home safe, I said a million times, I have nothing to prove. In my young days, hey, I know what I was capable of, but when you grow into yourself and when you have kids and when you have things to live for, those minute and those small instances, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. So in my outreach, I strive to teach my young brothers and young sisters how not to be easily triggered, how not to be overly emotional. And I often say this: you're human. You're gonna have emotions. If someone passed, you're gonna cry. If your toe got ran over, you're gonna scream. That's emotions. But if your lady or if your girlfriend don't want to be with you, and you decide to do the unthinkable and take her life, that's where you reach the point of being too emotional. Your emotions have taken control of you. Your emotions have dictated and have created a everlasting effect on so many people. And that's what I try to work on. That's what I try to work on with my my kids that I do take time out to try to help. Also in my outreach, as I stated, I didn't have positive role models to look up to, but I knew that I had to be something that these young brothers can look up and see and be proud of. So I went back to school. I got my bachelor's degree. I've been at my company working for the state of Texas for going on 15 years. And I'm saying that to say what that does is that brings hope to the hopeless young brothers, because all they can see is just destruction, and they role models are, people that's living day by day and not caring about life. Now they can see, like, you know what? He came from the same sandbox from me, from the same street. And this brother got a degree. This brother got a career. He got kids taking care of he got kids and he's active. He comes back not to down us, but to tell us how valuable and how important we are. Like, those are things that I believe are essential in that. And I'm saying I'm beginning to build my outreach, and this is my target, and this is my aim and my focus when it comes to sitting down with young brothers and young sisters. I do look forward to partnering with other community activists, gang activists, gang prevention, um, anyone that's really, truly, and genuinely trying to help save our young brothers and our young sisters. I'm all in. I'm not with the debating, because I believe that there are different ways of reaching people, reaching the youth. I just say that, as long as it's an effective method, I'm all game. I don't get into the debate, because for me, you can spend an hour in debating, but there was no outcome in that. So no, I won't be subscribed to sitting down and debating what's the best way. No, or kids, they just don't want to listen to us, and you know what, it's best to let them be. That's not my approach, because again, I believe every child uh can be approached and taught, and can be let's say uh uh each child can be each child can be presented a different view on life, but it takes the right person to actually put in that time, that worth, and really genuinely show them that they are loved. Because you got to remember, a lot of these young brothers and sisters are not getting that at home. They're not. They're not. So when you're with them, you have to be authentic. You have to be authentic to yourself. There's no shame in my game. I tell my story, and as time progresses, as more videos are posted, more of my background will be presented. I know about the gang life. I once ran with a certain gang, and did all of that, and I would tell you what's so dangerous, and that's why I truly, really am investing in reaching to the youth, because when I was at my low in my earlier years, the streets captured me so bad that I was so in tune to my gang, and I didn't care about living or dying. And I didn't think I was going to make it past 21, 22. But guess what? My mission was to take as many enemies with me as I can before I go. A lot of youngsters think like that today. It took my mentor, in whom I'm ever indebted to, which was my old teacher, to take time out with me and show and bring out the goodness. Craig, you're a very smart man. You're a leader. You have all these young brothers following you. Turn that into positive. And I'm after him just telling me this, spending time with me, and teaching me basic accounting, he would hire me for the summer just to file his paperwork. He had an accounting business. And, you know, it's crazy how the world worked, because later in my career, when I received my degree, I started doing taxes. I've been accounting for roughly 7 to 10 years. And that was the work of, and I gave this teacher pure HEL, whatever. I gave him the blues. And a lot of people like, I don't know how this man would deal with you after all the headaches you gave him in middle school. And he said, Craig, I saw something deeper inside of you, outside of your foolishness, that you had. You had potential, and I wanted to bring that potential out of you. And he did. And it took time. So I feel, and I believe in the Black community, we are one of the few that don't really harness or really value this word, pay it forward. And what I mean by that, I know the Jewish community, different races in different countries, pay it forward merely means that when someone has blessed you and opened up doors for you, you're obligated to do the same thing. All that teaching that my mentors have gave me, helped me pay for some of my college books. He didn't ask for a cent. He said, Craig, one day you're going to get a chance to have to help a young man, and that's my payment. You make sure you pay it forward, and you give that help to that young man as I gave help to you. And I think that's another conversation for another day. But I do believe that the Black community don't really push or don't really prioritize that belief system. Once a lot of Black people make it, like the Jefferson, we moving on up to the high rise, and they gone. They're going to Siena. they're going to wherever, Galveston. They gone. You know, and they were raised in 5th Ward, 3rd Ward, 4th Ward. But here I am. I'm blessed. Great job. Great life. But I'm often reminded that, guess what? I was a knucklehead, and there were people that had taken time to put into me. Now it's my time to pay it back. No money. Money is nothing. It's the time. And that's where my approach, and that's where the vision, and that's where the Lord put on me to, create and build an outreach program. And if some ask why the name A Better Tomorrow, because ultimately, when it's all over for us, you want to know that you left this world better than you came in this world. So that's why I named it A Better Tomorrow. Who you are today is not going to define who you are tomorrow, next month. With work, with outreach, with counseling, with genuine love, with patience, I believe every child is reachable. But you have to be committed. And I'm here to say I am truly committed into this mission. I am truly committed. I've had the opportunity to serve as the vice president of my middle school alumni, my alumni as the vice president of Gregory Lincoln Middle School, which is in most of you all call Midtown, 4th Ward. And with that, previously I would go speak with my mentor was teaching prior to him retiring, go speak to the kids, there that were knuckleheads like me, and letting them know, what this world is like. This world is harsh, when you get out of here, it's a dog-eat-dog world. I want to prepare every young man and every young lady to be as successful and prepared as possible to face this world. Because at the end of the day, we can say the cards are stacked against us, but it doesn't matter. You still gonna have to live, and no one's gonna feel sorry for you. So guess what? We have to, as community, as outreach, as advisors, as gang prevention, it's our duties to prepare them for this world and to help them navigate and help them understand that, your crowd can dictate your future. My mom always used to tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. I was so young and I didn't know what that was, and I just let it fly, but having thorough and, equal-minded young fellas and young ladies around you, that's important as well. So this is my first video. Hey, bear with me as I learn to navigate through this. But I just wanted to kind of reach out and give you a tip of my story, and what's my intentions and what's my hope and my vision for my program. And with that being said, leave a comment, like, subscribe. I just appreciate you all for listening, for those who sit and listen. But there'll be more videos to come. I definitely will read comments, so leave comments. I'm an open book. I will respond, and with that being said, you all have a great morning, and be blessed. And remember, today is a blessing, and tomorrow is a mystery. So live your best life today, because tomorrow's not promised. So take that with a grain of salt, and hope to chat with you all soon.